Hello there. Bit of a bumper week last week. We had 3 deliveries in, all Mythic Legion stuff. First of which is what we're going to be talking about now, which is the GraveYard skeletons, and the other 2 was Clavian, Red Clavian, and Serenok. Gonna get to those after I've done this. Just been really busy doing other stuff, this, that, and the other. So I'm a bit behind with doing these what's new in the vault videos, but they are coming. But like I say, this time we're going to focus on the GraveYard skeletons. Shall we take a look at them? What's new in the vault? And we're back. A bit of a spooky intro with that, wasn't it? Anyway, let's get the skeletons off the shelf here and take a look at them, shall we? And here we are with the 4 Horsemen GraveYard skeleton set. I didn't say Mythic Legions because I don't particularly think that this is actually meant to be part of the Mythic Legions line. I think it's just kind of a standalone set. If it is, it is. I've got it wrong, but I'm pretty sure that it isn't. But anyway, look at it. That's a very nice looking set. I apologise for the reflection. It's the monitor screens that's reflecting in the window here. So I will, maybe if I just tilt it a bit like that, you might be. No good. That'll be right. You'll just have to do. There'll be some photos that will accompany my written review, which will be up on the website when I've wrote it. The photos are done. I just need to write it yet. But yeah, so you'll be able to see it better there. But anyway, we'll talk about the box first. Big display window. You've got all the skeleton figures there on display, present and correct, and then we can just see a few of the accessories. We've got a where are we? We've got a skull mask, a skull mask there. We have the pumpkin head there, and then we have the vampire skull there. You can just see through the window. There's a booklet in there as well, but that's the front of the box. Top, we've got a bit of tree artwork and the the 4 Horsemen logo. To the bottom, again, 4 Horsemen logo, barcodes, warnings, this, that, and the other. The edge, we've got a logo and a tree, and then the opposite side, we've got a logo and a tree. And then on the back, we get to see more of this gorgeous artwork. And then we've got a photo. Yeah, sorry, I've lost my train of thought there for a moment. Photo of the skeletons in various poses, with exhibiting some of the accessories that they come with. I'll just pull that in a bit closer so you can see that. That's a really nice photo, and that artwork as well. But we'll get to more of that when we actually get the box open, which I think we should do now, don't you? Right, and let's get in the box open. So I've already seen to the tape that has the box there. I'm doing this unboxing and talking through, but I know that you know that I know that I've already had this out and I've already had a little play about and mess about with it. But for the purposes, of keeping the illusion in this video, I'm getting out of the box for you now. Because I'm just that kind of guy. So anyway, let's just slide that plastic clamp out there. I'll just pop this to one side for a moment. We're going to come back to that. Actually, no, I'm going to pop this to one side because it's the box I want to talk about. So when we've got the skeletons out of the box there, you can see a backing. Oh, look, my hand. Ed's hand action figure. I don't think it'd be that popular. You can see this beautiful artwork. I'm going to slide that out so you can see it even better. But look at that. I really do love that. That is really nice. That's some nice artwork. And it does make a good diorama. Just bring that in a bit closer for you to see. There you go. Just love it. Just like, this monochromatic, gothic style. Not too harsh, but it's got that kind of fun, cartoony kind of vibe to it, you know, while keeping a little bit of creepiness there as well. But yeah, love it, absolutely love it. So yep, right, move that out of the way somewhere so that I don't end up damaging it. And it's fine on the box, yeah. So that's it. Once you've got that out, it's just plain cardboard in there, and there again. So yeah, that's it for the box. Let's get that out of the way. But it's nice packaging. It's very nice packaging, is that. So what we'll do is I will, because I'm doing things a little bit different on this one, so you'll have to bear with me. We'll take a look at the figures first. I'll just get these out. All present and correct. Go on, stand up. You know you want to. There we go. Right, let's put this back to one side. Right, and here we are. I've all 4 skeletons out of the package and here on the desk. And I'll just let you take a look at those for a moment, as really, yeah, I can't say how much I do love this mould. It is a fantastic mould. They're just skeleton-looking skeletons, and I mean, you know, they look great. Some of the proportions are a little bit off, you know, but that's more to do with the practicalities of actually making a sturdy figure, rather than, you know, any artistic license or anything like that that's been taken for them. But if you'd seen my not only but also video that I did the other week about the Mythic Legions Skeleton Builder 2, then all I'd say is go back to that and reference that, because that'll tell you more details about the actual individual figure, you know, like its articulations and things like that, because I'm not going to go into that. I'm not going to repeat myself with that here. What I'll do is I'll put a link for that in this video, so then you can reference that if you want. But what we'll talk about is, what I'll do is I'll bring the Legion, because I've got the Legion Builder 2 out anyway, so I'll bring him in, and as you can see, immediate difference is the colour. So on the Legion Builder, it's more of what you class as like a traditional bone colour, where with the GraveYard set, it's not, I wouldn't say, I mean, I know I was speaking about the black and white monochromatic of the box and the packaging and the artwork and things like that. That carries on over onto these figures. So I wouldn't say it's like, I don't think they're intended to be black and white. I think it's just like it's carrying on that monochromatic look, you know, from the old Universal pictures. You know, it's like trying to capture that vibe, really. Although that said, there is on these on the GraveYard set, there is also a slight blue hue to them, which may not come across, you know, on the camera on this video, but it is there, and it just finishes them off nicely. There's a bit of a dirt wash on them as well, which, you know, gives some depth and highlights, you know, like the nooks and crannies. You know, if I turn one of them round, you can see that dirt wash there, like in the spine area. It just gives it a bit of depth, a bit of extra detail, because there is detail on these things. You know, it's not just plain, you know, just plain like bone kind of thing. If it comes into shot, if it comes into focus here, you've got some really nice detailing on the top of the skull there. You know, like the joints of the skull sections and things like that. They've all got the hinged jaws like the Legion Builder 2 one. So yeah, like I say, they're exactly the same. It's just a difference in colour. They also do carry over the same accessories with a few extra ones, which I'm going to get to in a moment. After I've finished speaking about these. So what more can I say about them that I haven't already said? There isn't really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on to the accessories, and then after I've done that, we'll come back and we'll do a bit of a recap, and I'll give you my final thoughts on them. Right, we're going to go through the accessories now for the GraveYard skeleton set. So I'm going to start with the spears. So we get 2 spears. There's nothing really different accessory-wise at the moment from what you get with the standard Legion Builder 2. But when we get to the variations, you'll know, and I'll highlight it anyway. So yeah, so the spears are pretty much identical to the Legion Builder 2. The same detailing on them. It's just that they're a different colour. They're more of just like a monochromatic, you know, silver and then like a dark grey shaft on the spear. One thing I will point out though is, if I can wait for the camera to get into focus, just see this marking here that's on the shaft of the spear. That marking came from when I did a couple of poses and photos of it being held by the skeleton, and that's the paint from the hand of the skeleton that's coming off onto the spear pole itself. So that's a little disappointing, but it just highlights the fact that, you know, that the skeletons are fully painted. And I suppose this kind of thing can't be avoided, really. I think as well it's because the shaft of these spears is also painted as well. They're not just bare plastic. So it's a minor thing. I'm not overly concerned about it, but I just thought I'd point it out. So anyway, so you get 2 spears. That's the spears. Put them away to one side. Next, we've got the swords. And again, identical, just again in that plain, flat, grey, and then like a silvery highlight for the blades. There is some nice detailing on the handles and the grip there, and then you've got some detailing on the I don't know what that's called, the end of the hilt, let's just say, and then here at the cross piece. So they are nicely detailed, and they've got a nice silvery shimmery finish there on the blade. And again, 2. So mould wise, yeah, exactly the same, just different in colours. And that continues with the shields. Again, we're still with identical accessories to the Legion Builder 2, but just in different colours. I do like this flat colour on the shield, and I like the contrasting silver trim as well. Real nice. There's a kind of a, if this makes sense, there's kind of like a matte pastel-y kind of finish to them, which I don't mind at all. Really don't mind at all. So, yep. So, those are the shields. You get the 2 handles for the shields, which are there. Oh. Again, 2 handles. And they just slot on. And we've even got some moulded detail on the handles as well. And they're just... So, when you've got the... just bring the shield back in. And then that just slots there onto that. And then the skeleton can hold it like so. Let's take that back off. Put that to one side. Right. I'll do heads. So the first one I'll bring in is the pumpkin head. This is really nice. I do like this. This is a reuse from the one from the Headless Horseman set that came out a bit ago. And again, it's just monochromatic. It's like a matte grey, and then you've got like a lighter grey colour inset for the mouth and the eyes. But there's some really nice detail on that. It's really effective. You even got like the stem there, and it's just a basic ball joint fitting underneath. That's the head, pumpkin head, sorry. And then we've got the vampire skull, which looks, as you can see, it's elongated towards the back there, but it's got all the cranial detail on it, all the joints, you know, the skull joints there, and then like the recesses. And then if you just bring it in a little bit closer, we've got the vampire teeth there, and then we've got the hinged jaw, which looks really nice. That is really nice. I really do like that. And again, same ball joint fitting there on that one. I'm going to leave these heads in shot just in the background there. In fact, I'll bring them all. I'll bring all the accessories in so you can just see them in the background there together. I will be doing some more closer photographs, but this is just a bit of waffle and to show you in real time on the video the accessories. We've then got a skull mask. Yeah, so it's a skull mask to put over a skull. Now, I'm not sure if they are just unique and will only fit the skeletons, because looking at my rather minimal Mythic Legion collection at the moment, I don't really have any other figures that I would assume that they'd fit. So at the moment, yeah, they're just going to be on the skeletons. But again, some nice detail, nice paint finish. You know, I've got again some cranial joint detail there, some breakages. They just slip over the top of the skull, and then a couple of missing teeth there. That's that one. Then we've got another one which is pretty much identical, but it's in a dark grey. Oh, there we go. Again, all same detail. Like I say, it's just the paint colour that's different on that one. Put that down there, and then now we've got this. These match with the vampire skull. So we've got vampire skeleton feet. Oh, it's dropped out of my hand there. There we go. Look at them. They've got sharp, pointy toes and slightly more elongated. But they look really nice. Let's just get one up here so you can see the detailing on it. That is nice. I've got like the peg hole there if you want to put it on a display stand. And it's got the hinge joint there. So I'm going to get some photos of the vampire skeleton in due course. And there we're going. And then we've got the vampire skeleton hands. Again, I'll just put one up here so you can see the detailing. Just sharper and more elongated fingers. These aren't going to hold anything. They're more of in kind of like an intimidating pose, kind of like a reaching out kind of to get you. And these are hinged to give side to side movement, as is the other one there. There you go. So those are the vampire skeleton accessories. And then just to the normal skeleton accessories, we've got again the same pose, but just a normal skeleton hand. These are hinged for side to side movement as well. Again, two of those. We've got the pointy fingers. There we go. Oh, sorry, pointy finger. This one again is a side to side pose, as is that one. Side to side pose. I mean side to side movement, should I say? And we get two sets of. We get two sets of those. That's the other set. Two sets of pointy fingers. And then we have then two sets of just normal grasping. This is the first set. Just grasping hands. Again, really nice detail on those. And these are the up and down movement. That one. There we go. And then the other set, identical. There we go. Just bring it in a bit closer there. Again, the up and down movement. Because the hands that are already on the skeletons as they come out of the box, they have the side to side movement. And there we go. Okay, so that's the accessories. I'll push them to one side, and then I'll finish off with the there's an included booklet, and I'll take you through that briefly. So let's move these just gently out of the way to one side so they're out of shot. There we go. Let's have a look now and bring this booklet in. So there we go. Nice matte black finish on the booklet. 4 Horsemen logo there. That's to the front cover, and then on the back cover we've got the different lines. So we've got the Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, and then Figura Obscura. Sorry, can't say my words there. And then just a link there then to the 4 Horsemen website, and then the date there, date stamp in there. Right, so let's open this up and have a look then, shall we? So again, so we've got just some details about 4 Horsemen and the store and who they supply worldwide. We've got a breakdown of their 3 lines: the Mythic Legions, the Cosmic Legions, and the Figura Obscura. I know for a fact I'm going to keep saying that wrong, but what the hell. and it just gives you a little brief rundown of what the different lines entail. And then we've got a selection of figures for the Mythic Legion. See, I still cannot speak. I don't know what's going on here. Mythic Legions Necronominus. I'm not even going to attempt to try and say those names of the characters. Not with the way that I've been able to read stuff in this short moment in time. Out of those, though, I do have Sir Elijah. The other one that I am quite interested in is Maxilius the Harvester, which is kind of, you know, the Mythic Legion's Necronominus version of, you know, it's their version of death, really. I have seen some videos of that, and the soft goods are really nice, all the accessories are nice, and you can have it in different looks and variations, so you can have it looking more like the traditional representation of what what we know as death. And then the other one that's not too bad. I quite like the Undead Builder Pack one there. So yeah, and then we've got here some more coming soon. So we've got Bishop and Sir Gideon Havensbrand, and then we've got Necronominus himself, and then we've got his horse, or an undead horse, Conibus. What's next? Yeah. And then these, the All-Star 6 wave, which has just landed now, actually. I think it was it had this, hit the street on the 18th of August, which is when I got mine. I got Clavian and Sir Enoch through. But yeah, all the rest of the other, all the rest of them are out now. That horse does look nice though, Deacon, to go with Sir Enoch, but I ain't got the space for that, I'm afraid. And then we've got Mythic Legion's Rising Suns. I think these are due out shortly, or they may even be out by the time that I release this video. Out of those, the ones that I do like out of that is, I do like the Blue Shield Soldier, but I also like the Malignancy of Gob Hollow. Specifically more the one on the left, the goblin that's on the left. I'll just bring it in a bit closer there. I do like that goblin. There's one from an earlier line, and I always forget his name, and it reminds me very much of Styx from the Shards, I think Shards of Darkness game that I played on the Xbox. Right, here we go. We've got the Reign of Beasts. They look nice. They're more like more beast orientated. That lion one though, Laodiceus, that looks super special. Does that? That does look nice. And then we've got a bit of an advertisement here. Legacies of Mythos. These are coming in 2025. So I'm assuming this is another branch offline. That's probably going to be more. We're going to say mythical then, but it's already mythical, isn't it? Really. So yeah, I ain't got a clue. I don't know, but it does look nice. I like that blue. What else we got? This is beautiful. Yeah, space and money, and this will be on my shelf. This is the dragon. Baethio, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's an absolute awesome chunk. So we've got 31 inch in length and 22 inch in height. And it is all fully posable. That is a beast. Well, quite literally as well, because it's a dragon. And then we've got some of the Cosmic Legion stuff. Again, this is another line. I like some of the Cosmic Legion stuff. But it's just more stuff to get into. And at the moment, I think I'm just fine with where I am. I can always play catch up. But they do look nice. And then some more over there. And if we just... Anthophiles. Kind of like... Looks like... I forgot him now. Is it Buzzoff? Is it? From He-Man? That looks very much like it could. You could slip that into your Masters of the Universe line of figures. And then we've got just highlighting some past releases of Figure Obscura. We've got like a Frankenstein's creature there. We've got some Egyptian style and Ghost of Christmas Past. And then some that were exclusives to Store Horsemen. So we've got the Ghost of Jacob Marley, Sun Wukong, Monkey King. That looks quite nice. I do like that one as well. Mask of Red Death. Father Christmas is awesome. I'd love to pick that up. But I'd hate to think how much that would be now to try and pick that one up. The Krampus. And then here is the Headless Horseman. This is another one that I would really like. That's the first release that's got like the red accents to it. It has been released again this year with the green highlights and accents to it, and that's at a more reasonable price. I think that was at 120. I think it was. That is a temptation for Halloween. I think that would look real nice as a as a focal piece for Halloween. And then we've got excuse me, again more Store Horsemen exclusives that you can pick up. Out of those, I do have the Templar Relic Guard Legion Builder. I do have that, but I don't have any of the others, although they do look nice. I especially like Waltor the Mad from the Cosmic Legions ones. That, I think, if I remember right, I think that comes in a 2-pack with Waltor the Mad for the Mythic Legions. That, if I remember rightly from what Mike GraveYard Plastic Works was telling me, it was a homage to, I think it was either a fan or a creator or a designer, and it was to commemorate him or to so like as a nod to them. I don't want to say any more because obviously, I honestly can't remember the scenario or the situations that arose to it, but I just know that it is done as a homage to somebody. And then also coming in 2025, so we've got like first 10 years book. We've got a role-playing game. Interesting. That's interesting. And then we've got the Silver Knight Legion Builder 2, which again, it's tempting. Very, very tempting. And then finally, that beautiful artwork from the GraveYard series Skeletons. But this is You Are Invited Back to the GraveYard, October 2025. Now that's something to look forward to. My assumption, and some of the assumptions that have appeared online, is that it's possible that it could be like an undead kind of thing, maybe a zombies or something like that. But at this moment in time, don't really know. So, right, we'll leave it at that. That's the accessories. There we go. And the booklet. That's what comes inside the box, other than the skeletons. And let's get back to where I was before I broke off to show you these bits and bobs. Okay. And we're back, and as you can see, I've got them. I've got the skeletons all tooled up, ready for action, with the Legion Builder 2 there, ready to lead them into battle. So I've just chosen a few accessories to put on them. I've not gone for the vampiric one or the pumpkinhead one. I've just given them their tools of the trade, the spears and the swords and things like that, just so you can get a flavour of how they compare with the Legion Builder 2. And yeah, what can I say about them? I love them. I honestly do. I can't find anything really negative to say about them. One thing that has bothered me slightly about this GraveYard set, which I didn't experience on the Legion Builder 2, is the joints on the GraveYard set were really, really tight. I needed to give these a warm bath, which I did before, so it's helped them a bit, but they are still quite stiff, but not as stiff. When changing the accessories, as in like the heads aren't so much of an issue, but swapping out the hands and the feet, they're still really tough, and there's a bit of heat needed on those to get them to come off without fear of anything being broken, which I don't really have a worry that anything will break, because they are really well made and solidly built. Paint application, when it comes to trying to swap some of the hands and feet out, has proved a bit of an issue, because that has also made them a little bit tighter as well, and because the whole thing, they literally are all painted, even the pegs on the hands and such. So when you do swap them out, some of the paint actually is flaking off the pegs, not coming off the bodies or anything like that. It's just the pegs, which I can understand because they're under pressure and you're pushing them in and out of joints. So again, no worries about that. I'm loving the colour variation, the colour difference from the Legion Builder 2. I'm loving the colour variances and differences on the accessories as well. It's just, it looks plain and bland, but it's not. It really isn't. It suits them very well. I like the skull masks, the skull mask skulls kind of thing. Again, I'm not sure whether or not they will fit on other figures. In time, I'll try them, but just not yet. So yeah, I continue to be impressed by Four Horsemen and their output, and I'll be honest with you, I find it really difficult to not throw the towel in with Transformers and go down this route with the Mythic Legions, because yeah, there's just something about the Four Horsemen Mythic Legion line that is just calling to me in a way that Transformers doesn't. And I'm not saying that I'm falling out with Transformers, I'm not. It's just that I think because I've been collecting Transformers for so long, there's nothing really new or surprising with them for me. Whereas with these, it's like coming into something new and fresh. So, but anyway, yeah, it's a big recommend from me. If you're into skeletons, I recommend the set. If you're into skeleton army building, I recommend the set. If you're thinking about dipping your toe into Mythic Legions and you want a good place to start, again, I recommend the GraveYard set, basically because of the value for money and what you get. You get the 4 skeletons, you get the plethora of accessories, and you get it at literally cheap, relatively cheap money. I think you can pick it up anywhere between £100–120. Go on eBay, or Emporium of Cool may still have some in stock, I'm not too sure. Or you may be able to, if you're in the States, you may be lucky, you may be able to pick them up from Store Horsemen. They may have some. But if not, if you do a quick search, I'm sure you'll be able to find some and pick them up. But like I say, yeah, definite recommend for me. So that's it. I said it was going to be a short one. There wasn't really much more I could add that I didn't say about the Legion Builder 2 in my not only but also video. So what I will do is I will sign off now, but I will leave you with a short VT that I did showcasing some of the skeletons on the turntable. It's about 5 minutes long. It's not boring. I think you'll enjoy it. I enjoyed making it. And yeah, I'll leave it with that. So thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. And we'll catch you again soon. Bye for now. What's new?
In the vault. Vaults of Icon.